Welcome to the 12th episode of the Tell It Like It Is Hip Hop News Reaction Podcast. This is your host, SP the Artist. Inflated opinions and plagiarisms. What the hell has the world come to, people? Stay tuned. Welcome to the 12th episode of the Tell It Like It Is Hip Hop News Reaction Podcast. This is your host, SP the Artist. If you're not yet a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. Remember to like and comment on the videos. Also share the videos to any other hip hop fans you may know to see exactly what their feedback is. And I encourage you guys to comment so you can let me know if this content is relevant to you, because any hip hop news that's the latest that I comment on, react to, or whatever may not be relevant to you. So just let me know if there's a particular artist that you may want me to take notice of. I'm also going to be doing song reviews and reviewing songs, and also reactions. I'm going to get into that, doing visuals after a while. Anyway, I want to jump into today's episode. I want to talk about a little bit in the first portion. I want to talk about inflated opinion relative to hip hop media personalities and things of that nature. And then a little later on in the episode, I'm going to talk about this plagiarism thing. It's the second allegation that has come up. The first one is with Childish Gambino in the Chase Harley song, the American Pharaoh song versus This Is America. Anyway, I'll get into the second one a little bit later. Let's dive right into the first portion, inflated opinions. And the reason why I say that, and first off, I want to tip my hat off to a lot of the media personalities. I had seen a review for Drake's Scorpion album by Everyday Struggle members, Nadeska, Academics, Wayno. I watched the Joe Budden podcast review of the Scorpion album. And I have to say this, starting out, because I don't want people to think I'm shading those two platforms. I feel as though those personalities, media personalities, gave an unbiased and honest opinion of the track listing, in my opinion. And I want to start off by saying this. I do not have a problem with any media personalities' differences of opinion. They don't have to agree with everything that I feel is hot, or that I feel it may be trash, in my opinion, or classic, or just merely relevant. So I was just glad, and it was refreshing to hear just honest opinions from these guys and their takes on the project. I just want to talk about inflated opinion in general. So like I said, it's not throwing any shade. And personally, my opinion of it so far, I haven't heard all 25 tracks, right? But I'm liking a few that I'm hearing. Talk Up is one of them. I like Emotionless as well. March 14th is pretty cool. There's a few other tracks I need to get into. To me, I believe before I can give it the title of a potential classic, I have to sit with it and listen to it. But I don't go off of anyone else's opinion, and that's my point, inflated opinions. If I feel it's a classic, then I'm going to say it's a classic. Just because someone has years in the hip-hop industry, in terms of management, production, they were an artist themselves, whether they were a label exec or whatever the situation, or just simply a major influencer in the hip-hop community and for the culture. I don't believe that their opinions are end all be all. I feel like they're still individual human beings. No human being is above another, period. And a lot of times people may make their way into a popular situation where a lot of eyes are on them. You know, like I said before, there's nearly 8 billion people on the planet, right? So that's a large number. And any one of these people may only have a couple million fans out of the 8 billion people. So there's shit tons of people who don't know who they are, but they just simply make more of an impression than most of us, because we may have 10 to 10,000 people while they have, a million or more. Their opinions seem to matter more. And our perception based on the count of following. Well, I'm here to tell you, anyone can create a huge following, right? It's not the easiest because it takes commitment, and some people don't want to commit to a particular task, and yet they still want a result. So I'm just going to state that out there. You have to be committed to it, and you have to also give some content that's of value to somebody. It may be meaningless to some, it may be of value to others. So that is another component to it. So I'm not saying that everybody can do it. That's certainly not the case. But what I'm saying is, with the right effort, the right focus, and the right content, you can build up a huge following. You just got to be patiently impatient and get to it. Anyway, as a result of having these large followings, a lot of times these media personalities, their opinions get put on a pedestal. So if they say something is trash or a classic, it gets held in high regard to some people who are more credulous. Now, I'm not saying, because I don't have any of this empirical data, so I don't know if the incredulous listeners outweigh the credulous listeners. I don't know. People that's more easily swayed. I don't know if they dominate the space of listeners in the hip hop community versus people who are not easily swayed. So I'm not going to sit up here and say that. A lot of people would have you to believe that there are more people that can be easily swayed as far as their opinions. I don't necessarily think so. The problem is, I feel, when we allow ourselves to be influenced in a way where we're not thinking for ourselves, or we're following the popular opinion and afraid to be honest about how we truly feel and where we truly stand, because it may not be the popular. That's when it's a problem. I don't have a problem that different people have different differences of opinion. Like I said, just because I like Drake, if he honestly drops a track that I'm really not feeling, then I'm going to be honest about it as well. And if I'm not feeling it, I see a lot of people get upset with each other for one person liking it. We have to realize that even though there's a lot of things that I like about us as human beings, there are things we have our own individual differences and preferences. Those preferences may be similar to different groups, they may not be, but we all have a right to like something or not like something. I'm not going to take it personally if you don't like films that I like, even if you don't share. And I'm not religious or political, right? I just believe in the human condition and the rights and the freedom and liberty and the will of the right of the will of the human being. That's what I believe in. But anyway, even if I was religious or political and we had differences of opinions or views, I wouldn't hold that against you. As long as we both respect the human condition, and even the rights of just man, woman, child, and animal, right? If we're doing that, I have no issue with you. We can disagree all day. That's what makes us unique. I just feel like there may be some, and I'm just speaking to you guys. And hey, you guys may not feel like it's wrong. You may feel like, you know what? I don't feel like thinking that hard. If these people tell me that this is good and it's good and bad, and hey, I'm going with it. I'm rocking out with it. And I have no problem with that. You have the right to. But if you really want to have your opinion respected, you might want to stand up and be honest about your opinion. You don't want to get caught in another stance, saying something entirely different and then being called out later. And I'm not saying you should worry about being called out or anything. I'm just saying, if you yourself want your opinion respected, the best way to do that is to stand by your own opinion and not follow the popular opinion. A lot of times we're easily swayed by inflated opinions because someone has the perception of being more of an authority on a topic based on their following. That doesn't mean that their followers are accurate listeners or accurate thinkers because they have a large number. That doesn't mean that, okay? It could be somebody, a media personality that you are following that has a lot of support, comments, and shares and likes and things, that may be off on something. They may have missed something. And it may not be intentional. They may have a piece of information that's lacking. So that's exactly why I say, I don't get out there jumping the gun on any of these topics. I may follow a media platform and I may follow the artist platform, so I can get both sides of it. I do my best to do that. And I get some artists don't like to tell their own truth and don't like to do their own PR. I get that. They may not respond or react to every little article that drops on them, whether it's good or bad. And I understand that as well. But I also believe if you're going to have a following and a platform, that you should clear the air. You should do your own PR. You should speak to your own truths because it's the fans that make your platform what it is. Now, like I said, I'm a private person. I don't believe in exploiting anybody in your personal life or putting your personal life out there just for clicks and things of that nature and follows and likes and more juicy drama. I don't believe in that. But at the same time, in the general sense of what's going on, I feel like you can address your fan base, and you should. Um, I'm just saying, in general, that the opinions of people who appear to be more popular shouldn't be taken too seriously, right? Even when I get back to the trolling thing, why I feel like it's good because we shouldn't be taking a lot of things too seriously anyway. And I always talk about the book Thinking Fast and Slow by Dr. Daniel Kahneman in terms of decision making, but actually it's a book about gossip and how to gossip better and more accurately instead of jumping the gun. And I think that's what a lot of people are doing. And I think the trolling kind of keeps that safe. It kind of reminds you to put yourself in check and do more fact checking and dig deep and make sure that the empirical data, the proof, so to speak, is what it is and stop just throwing around claims. And remember to use the word allegedly. Because I certainly am not trying to have content shut down or get sued because I'm throwing my opinion out there as fact. And I think a lot of people kind of throw their opinion out there and kind of leave it as fact, not accusing them. But understand this. If you are an authority and you have a huge following, or you're perceived as authority, you're going to have a lot of influence on people. And there may be people who are more credulous than others. Not saying that you're responsible for that. But you can actually have a lot of influence over a particular narrative. And I feel like acknowledging that is just holding yourself accountable and being responsible. I like to say, any of my opinions here, guys, I'm just starting out. Of course, I'm going to do different strategies to reach as many people as I can to build a following. I know a lot of people get shamed for that. I'm never going to feel ashamed. Everything I do is organic and from the heart, but I'm going to be smart and use direct response marketing strategies to grow my audience and to reach a lot of people because I want to empower the fan. That's what my movement is about, empowering the fan so we can think for ourselves and not easily be influenced and feel good about what we stand on or what we like, even if it's not the most popular opinion. That's a part of the reason why I started this Hip Hop Reaction podcast, not just because I'm trying to attack any media personality or anybody like that. I just like to have thinking for themselves and being honest about what they rock with and what they like and not feeling bad because it may not be the popular opinion or the popular consensus at the time. And to just be happy as a hip hop fan, and that's and also some of the issues that hip hop artists may find themselves in and how it relates to us. That's another bonus of this platform, opening those discussions because I'm definitely never going to dehumanize artists because they are popular, because they go through something that's a part of our human condition. I feel like it's good to talk about it and open up discussion. And as I said, it's just merely my opinion and my perception of it and my perspective on it. And I do my best to offer an open-minded and positive and a constructive perspective. Like I said, I'm not judging or shaming people or dehumanizing them based on that popularity. I understand that we're all humans in that way. Anyway, I just want us to think freely for ourselves. That's all, and to not be so easily susceptible to the inflated opinions, sometimes inflated opinions of popular media personalities in the hip hop culture. And that's pretty much it, And like I said, I'm not vilifying everything. Our favorite media personalities they don't have to agree with us. They don't have to like all the songs that we like. They don't have to like the artists that we like for the reasons that we like particular artists. That's not important. What's important is that we all stand by our own opinions, whether it's popular or not, and just simply enjoy it and don't take it too seriously. But just simply being able to stand up, because I think it goes back to your self-image and just being comfortable in your own skin when you can stand on things that you agree with or believe in and do it firmly. Anyway, let's get off the inflated opinions. I want to talk about this whole copyright infringement thing. Of course, we've heard about the alleged copyright infringement or theft of the idea of This Is America by Childish Gambino from the artist Chase Harley and his American Pharaoh song. And, they've been putting out a lot of comparison videos for the similarities to the tracks. I think that there may be a lot of coincidence. I don't feel like we have any proof or true proof of who came first or whatever. I'm hearing that This Is American track was produced first, and they have Pro Tools files, um, uh, dates, timestamps that prove it. I'm not even getting into any of that stuff, guys. Like I said, I try not to go too deep. I feel like there may have been a coincidence. I feel like both are great songs. I did listen to both tracks. I'm not going to up one and then tear down another. I do not agree with copyright infringement. I always like to give tips as far as how you can do it. I'll give this tip. If you're going to record a song, of course, you're going to publish it through a publishing company when you go to copyright it, right? Before you share it with anyone, do an audio of the melody, record that, and record the lyric sheet. Okay, record, not record it, but copyright that, right? Do it electronically too, because if you do it electronically for the same $55 cost, you can copyright a limitless amount of intellectual property via that one electrical filing for $55. So there's an infinite amount that you can file for copyright through the Library of Congress.com. Well, US, the library, copyright.gov is the site. www.copyright.gov is the site. You can do an electric filing of the Copyright Act and copyright your works for $55 and an unlimited amount for that under that one filing. That's one tip. Two, like I said, copyright the lyrical sheet, copyright the melody, the cadence, the flow of the song, right? Copyright, that as well, the recording of that. That way you'll have that. That way, when it comes down to you finally getting the song mixed and mastered, and you copyright that, which is the SRC recording, which would be your master recording. When you do that, then you protect the works entirely. And like I said, when you publish it through a publishing company, ASCAP, BMI, whatever, publish it as a both writer and publisher. That way you own 100% of the song's royalties. Anyway, that's on the protection end of it. That's how you can, like in light of the case with Pharrell and Robin Thicke was sued, right, for the Blurred Line song by Marvin Gaye's family in the estate. They were sued by that because I believe what allowed them to get sued was the melody, right? So if you're copywriting the cadence and the melody as well as the lyric sheet, it gives you a better chance to fight if someone has a similar melody or cadence. You then have an actual case that could be argued. Anyway, the new song, the latest song that's on a copyright infringement thing is YG's Big Bang song. It was alleged that the idea was stolen from an artist called Flint's Finest, and he also has a song called Big Bang. And I listened to the similarities on it. I think the only similarity is the saying of Big Bang. One thing I know is that you cannot copyright a title. That's one. If Big Bang did not trademark the Big Bang song, because he may not even have the rights to it, someone else may have already trademarked Big Bang. But if he did not trademark that song, then he really can't sue for copyright infringement over that. You can say allege the cadence, but to me, it's not long enough to be judged. Really, it's just Big Bang. And they do say something different, so that breaks it up. So that's not copyright infringement. They don't say the same things. And this person that reported it reported it falsely, even though they used the word allegedly correctly. They falsely reported it's not lyrics. Though that's what we consider a chorus. And a chorus is not. And I want to say this too. I'm not saying I'm the pro songwriter, but I do understand this from songwriting experts, right? The people that teach this stuff, right, at Berkeley. A hook is not necessarily the chorus. The chorus does not necessarily make up the hook. The hook is any part of the song that is sticky and that sticks in your mind and that kind of hooks you to the song. So that could be the lyrics. The lyric could be a hook. The bridge could be a hook. The chorus itself could be the hook. Now, the chorus of the song, which is Big Bang, yes, they have similar choruses, but at the same time, their lyrics are not similar, right? There's differences in components in the course as well. So I don't know how much of a case they have as far as if they're going to go legally with that and argue the case. This is how I look at it. Okay, and I want to get down to it. I don't, like I said, I'm not an advocate of plagiarism at all as a creative. I'm not. Okay. There are going to be similarities. I even had inventions or whatever that were similar, and me and two people didn't even know of the ideas, and the inventions were similar, the ideas. Okay. So that can happen. Coincidences. I just feel that if you have your own idea, just stand on it. The best way to do anything as far as any idea, product, service, whatever you got, is figure out what the people like. Reverse engineer that shit. Find out what the people like and then put that shit out there. Build your idea around what people actually want and what they like. Don't think you have a great idea and just come up with it and you haven't done the research on it. Okay, you can find out if it's already existed, see if it's been copyrighted, the idea is trademarked, patented, whatever. Do that first. That's one thing. Make sure that it doesn't pre-exist. That could stop this whole plagiarism thing. Find out what's out there. Second of all, like I said, start your idea, build around what people actually want, not some hot idea that you have. If you're disconnected from what people want, then chances are it's not going to go viral or be a success. And I want to get down to the thing of the criticism that I heard thrown around about the YG thing. Now, I'm not saying YG is an angel or he's not wrong in this and that. He didn't take the idea or wasn't inspired by the idea. I'm not saying this. I wasn't personally there. All I'm saying is this. I don't feel like YG, Nicki Minaj, Big Sean and 2 Chainz should be accused of plagiarism based on that popularity. Because a lot of times that happens. It could be a small artist with a song that sucks, right? And that wants to play victim. Oh, they stole my song, and because they have build your own following. And I just got to say that. Get your own fucking following up. Do what you got to do to become success. I hate when successful people are vilified based on their success. I don't like that. Any one of us can have the opportunity to do it. Just because someone got there before us doesn't mean we can't get there. Make sure you giving fucking content that people fucking care about. Build up a fucking following and put in the fucking work. Be patiently impatient. Patient with the process that it may take time, and be impatient because we don't have a lot of fucking time as human beings, right? So get the fuck started. Build your own fucking following. But if you're not offering quality content, don't expect for people to fucking follow you. So I don't feel like they should be criticized, 2 Chainz and YG and all those guys, because they're more popular than someone else. They're always trying to vilify someone that's more popular. No, in my opinion, Flint's Finest, I love his hustle. I love seeing a black man grind. His song to me is not good. It doesn't even sound like it was mixed and mastered well, in my opinion. Okay, I don't feel like it sounds like a professional cut, and I'm not going to be rocking that. I'm not even saying I'm going to even have YG's version of Big Bang in my playlist, but I like the song. It's actually a more catchy version of the two, in my opinion. And I feel like they made it their own, if that's the case. And I feel like they're well within their rights. There are going to be a lot of things. There are a lot of books, songs, films even that have a lot of, have the same titles. Like I said, you can't copyright a title, but you can trademark a title, prevent someone else from using it, right? Titles, you can't copyright people. Okay. So let's just get that. Let's just get that understood. They shouldn't have even made that argument. Now let's stick to the facts of the song. The beats may be similar, but it's not the same beat. So the beat certainly wasn't copyrighted. The actual lyrics, the raps were not copyrighted. So let's just get that. You know, some people may have a fuzzy understanding of what copyright infringement. And just because Pharrell didn't realize that melody, because there was a similarity in melody, right? Maybe he didn't realize that you could actually copyright a cadence, a melody, a flow. You can copyright that part. And I'm going to tell you, people, the first 4 songs that I published through ASCAP and that I also copyrighted at the same time, like I said, I copyrighted a number of songs that particular evening, right, under the same electronic copyright filings for $55. You can do multiple. Is an unlimited amount of works, intellectual properties that you can copyright under the electronic filing of $55. So remember that, guys. If you're doing it electronically, guys, it's an unlimited amount. Now, if you're doing it paper, you're going to pay more because you're going to have to individually do those paper filings. But if you do it electronically, you can file an unlimited amount. So that's the tip, right, for this reaction podcast. I'm going to give you that tip, right, for all of my songwriters. Also, for inventors, right? If you invent something that has to do with the music culture or whatever, as far as patents are concerned, you can test an idea just for $65 with a provisional patent application, right? That could be a large entity or micro entity filing you can do. And for that will last for 12 years. That way you can test your idea, see if it's even hot and that the people even want it. Like I said, your idea should have been built in the marketplace anyway, where people are already saying and echoing that they want anyway. Anyway, after your year is up, you're going to have to do a non-provisional, patent filing for it. Now, here's the thing. That's $400, and then there's an extra part of that fee, right? So it's like 400 to 480, something like that comes out to. Then ultimately about 635 that it comes to together when you're doing a non-provisional filing after your year is up for the provisional application you file for your patent. But guess what, guys? If you do that through EFS Web, the electronic version of the patent, non-provisional patent filing, you can do that for 50% less, for like $200 less. So it's always with your patent you're going to find, as far as the non-provisional and as far as filing copyright, both doing those electronically, you're going to save a lot more money, guys. So those are tips that I'm going to give. But like I said, as far as the plagiarism, in my opinion, the YG, Nicki Minaj, Big Sean, and 2 Chainz Big Bang song is not similar enough to be considered copyright infringement, in my opinion, right? In terms of Flint's Finest Big Bang and YG's Big Bang, I think that they're entirely two different songs. Yes, I feel like there are some similarities, but I don't think it's enough for a copyright infringement case because the beats are not the same. That's one. The lyrics are not the same. It has the same title, which apparently is the title is the chorus as well. But I feel like there's different components in that, so it's not copyright infringement. And in whether YG was inspired by it or not, I feel like the YG song is better, and not just because they're famous. So I'm not tricked in my thinking. Sonically, it's a better song. Because like I said, American Chase Harley song, American Pharaoh, was an actual hot song. I really like the song. I feel like he's a dope artist, and I feel like he should keep hustling and working and doing his best to get his music out there to more fans, because I feel like he's a worthy artist. And I'm not taking away from Flint's Finest. He may have some tracks that I really enjoy, but as far as that song, his version of Big Bang, don't like it. Like I said, allegedly, this was done. YG still, we don't know that for sure. They do have timestamps, and Flint's timestamps is ahead. It was published first as a song, but I don't think that was copyright infringement, even if YG was inspired. Anyway, this is the 12th episode of the Tell It Like It Is Hip Hop News Reaction Podcast. This is SP the Artist signing out. Please subscribe. Thanks, guys.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.